leaving my home country and moving to another country has completely shifted me. And if you've been following my channel, Fabulous Nat, before it was Traveling Nat, from the beginning, you know I moved abroad back in 2015 in Korea. And that was the moment that my life completely took a tangent. And I have been discovering myself and grieving parts of myself and opening new pathways I didn't even anticipate all along the way. Ever since I made the decision to move to Korea in 2015, my life has been expanding exponentially since that point in time. Honestly, moving abroad is not just about logistics. Everybody's thinking about like, all right, what's the visa I need? What is my remote job gonna be? How am I gonna get there? Where's my house? Like, people think that like that is the stuff you need to learn about what it takes to move abroad. But it is the internal emotional world that you are going to be slapped in the face with every minute you wake up. Honestly, I really feel like moving to Korea was a baby step for me. I'm thinking, all right, I'm stepping into this job that sets me up with insurance, that sets me up with a salary, that sets me up with housing, with everything that I may need. I got the idea that because I had all of these systems already in place before I moved there, that everything is gonna be okay. I'm gonna float through. Like, this is gonna be like great, easy. My anxious beliefs, my attachments, my coping mechanisms, like none of that dissipates from that environment into this environment. That debris lives within me. It only gets louder because now you have the time to really sit with yourself. There is an inner journey that nobody prepares you for. Nobody who has taken the leap to move abroad can truly walk you through. When I decided to move abroad, I was in a weird kind of like limbo position in my life. I was really uncomfortable in the environment, in my home environment. At the time, my parents were going through a divorce, and it was really ugly to be there. I had just graduated college and I was still finding myself. I didn't have the degree I thought I was going to graduate with. I wasn't getting jobs like I thought I would be getting as soon as I came out of college. I was really judging myself. I was doubting myself. I need to prove to myself that I am making the right choices because my outside is not looking how I'm expecting it to look. It got to a point where that environment, I didn't want to be there anymore. I was ready to just shift. I was ready to just go and do something I had never done before, something that excited me, something that was completely like left field, something that made people in my life proud of me too, because that was still there. The idea that was planted as a seed in my mind only grew the more uncomfortable my environment got. That is the feeling that change and major change, or at least you have the choice to step into something that's going to completely transform your life, or you step back into something that makes you comfortable. And that is what sets the difference between a lot of people who actually end up moving abroad, because you now just change the complete trajectory of what your life can expand into. Moving abroad is exciting. Like, I remember when the idea first came into my mind, like, I can live abroad by teaching English and they pay for everything. Like, I'm set up. And so it was an amazing opportunity. It's gonna open me up to experiences so that this idea of where I think my life is going, it only, it just heightens my resume. And I was so excited about that. I was so excited about what I saw or what I thought I wanted for my life. But the true experience happens not when you decide to move abroad, but when you're actually living there. There's this like transitional period where once you leave the States or once you leave your home, you move abroad, your body, your mind, everything is recalibrating to this new way of life. And that is the most uncomfortable shit to be in. Every single move, every single time I have moved to another country, there is that period. And in that period, you can get so low because it doesn't feel good. There's no escaping it. You are questioning everything about yourself. And all you want to do is run, get away, go back to familiarity, go back to something comfortable. Every single decision I have made in my life, even if it looks like it's flawless and I'm doing it and I'm nose diving into it, I have been doubting myself every step of the way. I doubt myself before, I doubt myself during, and I definitely doubt myself afterwards. Because there's a part of me that believes that for some reason I am not enough. I'm not doing enough to have this life. I need to be doing more. I need to be working more. I need to. You're starting to feel the loneliness. You're starting to feel the isolation. You're starting to feel homesick. Was this even the best choice? Like, what is going on? I feel so uncomfortable. We don't really talk about that. It can be really difficult. And I know a lot of people who had moved to Korea, and in that period they did what they call a midnight run. I think that's what they used to call it, where they upped and booked a ticket back home. Like Wednesday they were teaching class, Thursday they gone. They don't say anything to their schools. They just up and left without a word, silent in the night. There was one moment living in Korea when I realized how truly lonely I felt, how helpless I felt. I was walking home from work, and along my walk, I realized that my wallet was open and all of my cards had fallen out. So I went back to retrace my steps, and I started finding some of the things that were in my wallet. But after going back and forth a few times, I could not find my bank card. Something that would be so simple, like to call my bank to cancel my card because I lost it. But in this environment, it was the hardest thing to do. Nobody spoke English. I could not communicate. I could not understand. I literally, in the middle of the street, I had a breakdown because I realized how helpless I was without somebody to help me. Moments like that hit so much harder when you are abroad. You don't have your family around you. You don't know the language. You don't know anybody around you. You don't know the way people operate. And it's just you by yourself. Put on another level. You are black, big. You stick out like a sore thumb. It was more than just missing the people that I loved. But it was sitting in a space that nobody in my life, nobody around me could ever truly understand. And even if you try to have them understand, there is a disconnect. I have been in Korea for maybe 3 or 4 months at this point, and it was getting really hard because I was realizing just how isolated I was. I lived what I saw in the middle of nowhere. I lived in a little tiny town outside, about an hour and a half outside of Seoul. There was no English anywhere. It's not like how in Seoul there's some English and Korean. This place was nothing but Korean. I was pretty sure that there was not another black person for a good 10 square miles. The only time I would be speaking to somebody would be at school because I was a English conversation teacher. After I left school, there would be days that I didn't have to speak. Like the weekend, my mouth did not open unless I called somebody at home. And so I got really lonely, and I was really feeling the depths of the isolation of this is what it feels like to feel invisible but also hyper visible at the same time. It was one of the most uncomfortable periods that I had in Korea, and I remember in this period going back and forth thinking like, is this year going to be it? You lose a sense of belonging. I no longer had my people. There was nobody in my city, in my town that looked like me, that spoke like me, that understood my culture. Every time I opened my mouth, anything I did with my hair was a spectacle. And I remember there being a period of time while I was in Korea that I was wanting to just not scare my new students and my new co-teachers. I didn't want to scare them too much with my blackness. And I remember thinking like, I gotta tone down, I gotta like prettify it. And so I remember waking up way early in the morning every day and making sure my hair was straight, had my little makeup on, just more agreeable to the eye, more softer in appearance, so I could be accepted into this new culture, into this new work life that I'm in. One thing I started learning, there's things about me I need to embrace. It started off with my hair, because my hair did not cooperate and does not do like Korean hair does. So me trying to blend in by having straight hair just did not make sense. It was causing more damage than anything else. And then it expanded into other areas. My journey abroad has brought me closer in understanding that belonging doesn't mean necessarily with other people. You have to belong to yourself first. I started truly embracing that how I present, what I look like, isn't something that needs to be hidden or toned down in order to be accepted. And over the course of the 5 years I lived in Korea, I became looser and open with how it is that I decide to show up in this world. You have to love, oh, I love my hair. My hair defies gravity. Love your skin. Oh, you know, it sucks up the sun. I don't have to cover up. And that's why you see me on camera in a bikini, because it's hot AF here in Thailand. And probably after this video, I'm gonna jump in the pool, okay? I thought that before moving abroad, I needed to have my income set up. I thought I needed to know exactly what visa and how I was going to attain that visa. I thought that I needed a job before moving out abroad. I thought that that was the only way that logically made sense for my life to make sense on the other side. But in doing the complete opposite of that, I've learned that moving abroad doesn't take planning. There can be some planning, yes, but what it really truly takes is your willingness to adapt and to figure it out along the way. In every single situation, the only person that has always ever been there is you. And that is the number one lesson that I am learning in life, period. And that I really, really, truly am crystallizing while living abroad, is that I can't rely on anybody else's validation or acceptance in what I'm doing to be okay with taking the next step. I can't plan a move to perfection and know that it's gonna work out for sure. I have to step into unknowingness, and I can't learn how unless I just do. Just put myself in it and figure it out, and trust that I have the skills, the abilities to navigate through any situation. I am equipped and I'm supported. I already made the first leap. I'm on a completely different trajectory already. So I'm creating a new series where I'm gonna talk deeply about my experience and how moving abroad completely changed me, and the emotional struggles that you can be experiencing along this journey that nobody ever really talks about. So stay tuned, follow and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you are notified when the next video comes out. Thank you guys, like always, for watching. I love y'all.